Welcome back. You're now tuning to Sold in 60, the one and only timeshare podcast in the world. I had to set it off with this one.
For sure.
Shout out to everybody in the timeshare game. Whatever resort you at, get money, change lives.
Look what we made it. Hey.
Our last episode was crazy with Vic Money the Truth. We like this intro.
For sure.
Pay me.
Hey.
Look what we made it. I love that, Joy. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Sold in 60, you one and only timeshare podcast in the world. What's good, y'all? What's good? D Money, what's good? D Dollars, down payment, what's popping?
What's good, man? How's everybody doing out there? You know, we here. Back like we never left.
You know, it's that season. It's that season where it's people have got laid off. I did get the roster that some resorts went a little skinny.
Facts.
And it just, September's the nature of the beast. You know, they'll be back most likely in November for December. One thing about this business is there are waves, and you know you gotta survive those times. If you are in a position where your numbers are higher, you can survive these low times and just hang in there until it gets back. Some resorts allow people to just take some time off until it gets busy enough to have enough tours, maybe just like the weekends. But if you were laid off, it is not the end of the world. Many of our guests have come up here and shared how they too have got laid off, whether it was not having a license or just not having the right VPG at the time. But just remember this. You can always get back in the game. You know what I'm saying? The bench don't last long.
And for the people that got laid off, you know, maybe they won't be back in another training class for a month or two. What should they be doing with this time off? Should they actually take a breather and enjoy family and friends, or should they be, you know, in the books studying, getting ready to get back in the training class?
Well, I like to say that the first of the month has no chill. The first of the month don't give a damn about your situation. You know what I'm saying? So you got to continue to find some type of angle, some type of hustle. For those that's in real estate, that have a real estate license, I feel like this is the time for you to be willing to dabble, be willing to go to the other side, be willing to either go telesales if you find an opportunity of someone that's doing sales over the phone. If you find somebody that's willing to train you in real estate, if you have enough money to get into the residential side, it's something to do, and so you can get back in the game. So you got to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got to work somewhere else that's not just outside of your norm, like whatever you got to do to stay afloat, so be it. But don't take your eye off the prize, because you'll be back in the game. We have that November rush for Florida, at least Orlando to be exact. We have the BCR, as they call it?
BCR?
Black College Reunion?
Yeah.
Classic weekend.
That's coming up?
No.
October?
No. That's November.
Okay.
It's November, then you have Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a dead week for like 2 weeks, and then you go into Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Then after Thanksgiving is like dead week. Wait, did I say that right? And then there's Christmas and New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your classic weekend, you got your Thanksgiving weekend, then you have your 2 dead weeks, and then you have December.
Mm-hmm.
There's still money to be made, but in the meanwhile, you got to do something. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, definitely. You think people travel during Halloween? People are not traveling during Halloween, are they?
I don't think so. There's a few people that's like big on Halloween Horror Nights, and Disney not so spooky Halloween. They still travel around this time, but I don't think that's like a major shift of people traveling.
Got you.
For that. But you know, there's always tourists going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's tourists coming to Florida year round. So I think that there's an opportunity year round. But if you were let go, you have to wait till the next training class at the resort that you choose to go to jump on and get back in the game. But don't lose sight. Don't take it personal. Should be the slogan that I want to say. Because I know some people who've got let go from a place and took it personal. They either don't ever want to go back to that company, or they don't want to ever get back into the industry, and don't take it personal.
That's true.
You know, as much as, I hate the fact that there are veterans in the business that have gotten let go because it comes to volume per guest, their VPG.
Mm-hmm.
You would imagine like, oh, we know this person is awesome. We know what they're capable of doing. Whatever it is, they don't have the numbers. They have to let them go. unfortunately, I've been on that side of the fence where it's not about the name, it's all about the numbers. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how good of a person you are or how much potential you have. If your closing percentage and your volume per guest is not where it needs to be, we have to take you off.
They don't care about what you did last month. They don't care about what you did last year. It's about what you're doing right now.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, I don't like that part of the game, but it's part of the game. You know what I mean? And if you have to be a bigger sport. Same thing for those managers that some managers have gotten demoted. You know what I'm saying? You was a TO, you was a manager today. They told you to step down to be a rep because we don't have enough tours, so we don't need that many managers. And it's like, do you keep the mentality as, I'm a manager and I want to be a manager? Or do you have the strength to be like, all right, well, let me go get it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because before you was a manager, you had to be in a rep. You had to prove yourself and you still got the skill. Are you willing to step down? And there's some people that I know personally that I would take my hat off to them because as long as they've been in management, if they come into a season like this where it wasn't clicking, they stepped down to get busy. They rolled up their sleeves and got busy. You know what I'm saying? It's a few of them. And I'm definitely going to have them on this show because I respect those people that I look up to them.
For the managers that step down to become reps during slow seasons, do you think that in their mind, they're feeling some type of way because now they're on the same level as the rep? Now they're just a rep? Or you think they're not even thinking about that? They're thinking about that money?
I think the ones that step down ready to get busy is just focused on the money.
For sure.
They don't care. I got to grind.
Yeah.
But there are some that have been in management for so long that it's an ego thing. It hurts. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like some managers are so good or were so good or had so much good reps that they really didn't have to do much. Some managers don't go to the table and they be like, yo, go show this to the rep. You know what I mean? So I think that if you're a go-getter and you got the energy and the will and all that, but I think when you've been out of the game for a while on a different level, it may be a little hard for them to adjust.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But it come with the game, y'all. So don't take it personal. You'll be back. If you got let go, don't worry about it. You can always go back. You have options. You have experience now. You know what to do. But this is just like how teachers stack their money because they don't work through the summers. Stack your money. When you start in the summer or the spring and the summer and you make a lot, like save for that rainy day, like that reserve or that what's they call that emergency fund is very important in this industry. You know what I'm saying? For times like this where you may have to sit down a couple innings, and I'm talking baseball terms. You have to sit down a couple innings, or you might have to sit down for a season. You out the game for a little bit until you come back. But if you have the money to carry you through, it's not gonna hurt. You know what I mean?
Not only that, if you not new in the game and you've been in the game for maybe a couple years and you feeling a little burnt out, this might be the time to actually transition out of the sales floor and hit like a OPC or hit like a dealer position. There's other positions that you can hit within the timeshare sales process. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't just have to be the sales floor.
True.
Yeah,
it's true. Some people they tried different things, and they will try either like deeding, QA, Encore, VOA, Exit.
Yeah, all of that, discovery, all of that.
Because at the end of the day, you have a skill. You've been turning people around, selling a product, and you can always take that skill anywhere. You know what I mean? Some resorts have a virtual pro. Shout out to all my people who work off the phones. Shout out to Jess, Jamaica, Vegas. All my people who's doing virtual sales, shout out to them. And we're definitely going to do a segment on them. I can't wait because,
for sure,
a lot of people that I've seen personally have left from the floor when in the slow season and went to that department. And they skyrocketed, done well. Shout out to Tafiel. Shout out to Kim. Shout out to Kim. There's a few people I want to shout out to that I know that at that time they left because of COVID. But I remember people that left the floor went into telesales and
they're good.
They're living the life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole nother story.
And if you only did in-person sales and you're getting to the point where you're about to get out of the industry for whatever reason, try telesales, try over the phone. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that did in person and never did over the phone. There's some people that did over the phone and never did in person. So just try different things. You never know what might click for you.
Absolutely. So today we want to go into something a little different today. Shout out to, listen, y'all, Sold in 60 was put together for us, right? For us in the industry. And we had a comment and shout out to everyone who leaves comments and takes the time. We appreciate that. That's how we communicate. That's how we know if we're on the right track, if we need to add on something. Click the link in the bio. There's going to be a link in there that allows you to suggest topics that we should touch, right? Because we always listen to the people. But there was a person who left a message or a comment that was like, I don't know whether to leave a 5-star or a 1-star.
Oh, yeah. It was an owner.
It was an owner.
Yeah.
Basically, she liked the fact that there was insight to the industry. And again, this was not, if I was on some other, I would be arrogant and say, it's not for you, blah, 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 blah. But they were saying they were grateful to hear the insight from us.
From a sales rep's point of view, yeah.
Point of view. But at the same time, they were saying they would never purchase. So I want to talk about that because, there are resources out there that typically advocate for owners that explain how you could get the most out of your ownership and how it works so you can feel knowledgeable and comfortable. But I say all that to say that with the world of owners searching the internet, there's something that's brewing for people who are searching for timeshare. Algorithms, cookies, marketing are really capturing what people are looking for. And there's a video that's circulating from a company, and I want to play it for y'all. And I want to give you our perspective, and we're gonna tap in and talk about it. So I'm gonna play that for you to tell me, for y'all to see what's going on and know what your owners are being exposed to. Now, I think that's most important. Knowing what your owners are being exposed to, so that you could be prepared for what may come on your table. So we're going to go ahead and play the audio to this track.
Free weekend trip or dinner or something. They get you in the door with a free weekend trip or dinner or sometimes just a Visa gift card. Then they tell you it'll only take 90 minutes. That is the first lie they tell, but the line doesn't really stop after that. On this video, I'm going to take a minute to reveal the 3 biggest lies the timeshare salesman probably told you and what you can do about it. Every year, over 150,000 timeshare owners come to us for guidance on how to get out of timeshares they were misled into buying. So let's jump into it. Lie number 1, your fees will never go up. This is not true. On average, fees increase by a minimum of 4% a year. That means that your $1,000 a year maintenance fees could be much, much higher after just a few years. This doesn't even include assessment fees or other additional charges. Now that we've gotten that covered, let's move to lie number 2. This is a financial investment. This is just blatantly false. Let's look at an investment as defined by Investopedia.com. Investments are designed to appreciate in value, generate income, or do both. A timeshare is not going to do either, despite what the salesperson says. The value of your timeshare is based on supply and demand. And unfortunately, the demand for timeshare is low. So low, in fact, that you had to be bribed to show up to that sales pitch. Remember that free dinner? And the supply is always high because of the massive marketing and sales machine that is the timeshare industry. Think about it. How did you purchase? Because of this, the timeshare resale market is virtually non-existent. In fact, nearly all companies claiming to sell your timeshare only exist to take your money. Lie number 3, your timeshare obligations will end when you pass away. This is the biggest and most dangerous lie you have been told. You may not want to leave all the financial obligations of your timeshare to your children. Without a significant investment of time and money by your children, they could have to deal with your timeshare obligations. Most timeshare agreements are in perpetuity. Essentially, this means that this purchase is permanent and does not have a set end date. It doesn't expire, ever. This also means as your current situation stands, your timeshare may be passed to your children, whether they like it or not. When you combine that with the eternally rising maintenance fees at 4% a year, your $500 a year maintenance fees could be much, much larger when your children are paying for them 30 years from now. In fact, at a 4% rise per year over 30 years, your maintenance fees will often be $3,000 a year or more. That almost costs as much as an average vacation to Hawaii. Sheesh. Now you're probably thinking, there is no way the timeshare companies would charge that much in fees. To which I will respond, they absolutely will and do. Think about it. They lied to you just to sell the timeshare. Why wouldn't they overcharge you on maintenance fees? Beyond that, we speak with thousands of timeshare owners each week. Almost all have been told one or all of the lies spoken above. This is why we exist. If you've been lied to about your timeshare, there is a good chance you will qualify.
So basically, this is floating around the internet, whether you are a person who goes on Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. So now that we've got that, I mean, I want you to click in the comments. Tell me what you feel about that. Tell me what you feel about that video that's floating around. Is it facts? Is it fibs? Is it the way to hook them? Are the scammers scamming the scams? What's going on? What's your thoughts?
Let's touch the first thing that she talked about. She says that the first way that they lie to you is to tell you it's a 90-minute presentation, right? It's only going to take 90 minutes. You in and you out. On average, Rich, how long is your average timeshare tour?
I mean, the average tour. So I believe that if it's front line or day line, they tell you 90 minutes. It is, the front end is about 60 minutes and the 30 minutes is left for the back end. If there's any level of interest when it comes to negotiation, then that will go over. What I believe is, what I understand is the marketers and the, what they call OPC or marketing, they tell them it's 90 minutes or more based on your level of interest. So therefore, because really the time that gets longer is on the back end. The numbers come out, they say, remember, our presentation is designed to fill a need. Everybody wants the vacation and everybody wants to save money. So when we show them a number and they say, damn, I like it, but I can't do that, they've already opened the door for us to help them, right? So that can be done, the presentation can be done in 60 minutes. The back end is now you have more time to work. And that's when it comes down to, the manager trying to find the right fit, right affordability. What takes longer is when they are saying, well, we can't do this, or we don't have the down payment, or can you help me with the interest rate, and they're going back and forth. That's what buys more time. You know what I mean? And I think that, okay, you don't have the down payment, or you got to apply for this credit card, or you got to move monies around. Now it's getting longer. So now 90 minutes turn to 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? And that's not because you've been lied to. It's because there's a process. We have to find the right product for you. And then when we do find the right product, we have to fill out the preliminary paperwork, and then that preliminary paperwork has to be sent to processing. And that has to be processed. And when that's processed, then we have a QA or a DETA or whatever your resort calls it, who's then going to go over the ownership paperwork. And that takes time. So how dare she say that they lied to you? The only way that it goes over the time that you agree to is when there's a level of interest. If you had no interest and said, I'm not buying nothing, I'm quite sure you'll be out of there in the time that they told you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people don't come in saying, or they don't always be like, no, I'm not doing it, I'm not buying it, because the product sells itself. If you present the product the right way, and if you do the right intent statement and let them know that it's only for today, you have an opportunity today, the incentives are for today. If you do the right urgency statements, the right tie downs, right, they're going to walk themselves right into the sale. And believe it or not, the product sells itself. So to answer the question, it is what the time is that they promised. If there's interest, then it goes longer.
For sure. To piggyback on that, is to your level of interest. It's a 90-minute presentation, but you got to understand I have a whole 12, 13, 14 step process. And within this 12 or 13 step process, I'm pretty sure you're going to have questions for me. You know, obviously the more questions they have for you, it's going to prolong the presentation, right? Not only that, I was taught that if the family is not standing up saying that they're ready to go, then you continue your presentation, right? So we could be 1, 2, 3, 4 hours in. If the family doesn't stand up and say, get me out of here, then I'm continuing my presentation for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we all have a process, right? We create them to trust us. We create commonality. We go into a discovery, right? We go into, some people call it economics, some people call it
value proposition.
Value proposition, anyway, dollars, whatever you
rent versus own.
You know, call that rent versus own. So we're showing an illustration of what money they're going to be spending, regardless whether they get involved or not, right? And then we go into how the product works and how it can help them, right? But most of the time, I want to say 90% of the time, this product sells itself, you know? So I don't like the she said that, because that's not a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure. We don't hold them captive of their time or anything like that. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's see. The second thing she mentioned was fees will never go down. Fees increase by a minimum of 4% a year. That's not true.
I don't think that anyone says the fees would never go up. I don't think anyone says that. I think that majority of the people would understand that, because that's like elephant in the room. Can these fees go up? They can go up. They can go up. But when they go up, guess what happens? You have more amenities. You have up-to-date rooms. You have landscaping. Like, you have to make them feel like maintenance. Our owners love maintenance. You know why? Because when they come back, the place is in a great condition. They have amenities for the kids. The room feels like home. Some of these units are better than their home. You know what I'm saying? So can the maintenance go up? Yeah, just like inflation. You think that the landscapers are still cutting the grass for the same cost that they was back in 1980?
No.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to step over weeds when you get to your unit, right? The pool has to be in good condition. You don't want to be the green, right? So I don't think that saying that it goes up 4%, because each resort is different. There's actually, at one point when I was at a resort, they would have a printout that shows you it only went up 3% or 2% year, like over the years. Like, you can show that to a family if you needed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
I used to show that chart to families, actually show them, hey, look, in the past 5 years, the maintenance and taxes has only gone up, whatever, $5, $10 a year. When you really look at a chart and look back in the past 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you'll see that it's really not that much that the maintenance and taxes goes up, you know?
Yeah. And then you have to justify why people like maintenance and taxes. I mean, at the end of the day, if your unit's paid off, you paying X amount of maintenance for X amount of weeks for vacations, it's still gonna be less than a hotel room. And I want to encourage everyone to go to the ARDA website. And if you don't know what ARDA is, it's the American Resort Development Association, and they advocate for timeshare owners. And if I went to their website the other day, and look at this, they're showing you that the average maintenance fee is about $1,480, right, weekly. So $1,480 is the average, right? I think that's not bad when they're showing you that compared to the resort hotel stays for 7 nights, it's $1,673. So maintenance is still less than renting a hotel room.
And I think she said the maintenance was a minimum $3,000 a year. So she's already doubling the numbers just to try to, have a talking point. But going on to that, the maintenance and taxes is based on, to my understanding, okay, let us know what you think in the comments. The maintenance and taxes is based on the amount of ownership that you own, right? So if I own a platinum package, that's going to get me, if I'm at presidential status, that's going to get me, 1 million points a year. That's going to give me 3, 4, or 5 months of vacation a year, right? I'm pretty sure my maintenance and taxes is going to be pretty high. It might be a $5,000 maintenance and taxes, but I'm pretty sure if I'm just buying 1 week of ownership, it's going to give me maybe 5 or 6 days a year. I'm pretty sure my maintenance and taxes is going to be very, very low compared to somebody that has a higher package. So the maintenance and taxes should be based on your ownership at the resort.
So keep that in your arsenal, But I definitely want to go back to telling them, like, go to this site, go to Arta, get infographics. Some resorts talk about it, some don't. But just looking back at last year, I mean, there's almost 1,500 resorts. But 2-bedroom units are about 71% of what people use or purchase. We're in a $10.5 billion industry.
In sales, let's touch that for a second. $10.5 billion in sales. My question is, how much of that is going into your pocket? The ones that are listening to this show right now, what percentage of that is going into your pocket?
It's a lot going around.
That's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money.
So for her to be talking so bad about timeshares, why is it doing so good? Right?
Average sales price, $23,000. $23,000.
That sounds about right. Would you say that's about right?
That's about right.
That's about right.
That's about right.
That's about right for sure. Everybody's resort, regardless if you had a big name, small name, mom and pop, whatever the case is, everybody's average should be around 15 to 20,000 for sure, right? And I think at every resort, you should be like the bare bottom numbers. You should be able to offer at least a $10,000 package somewhere, somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I think everyone has the opportunity to own a timeshare at all price points. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, every resort has a product for somebody, whether it's entry level or where is it, your presidential or high end level. But yeah, something for everybody.
Another thing that she mentioned was the assessment fees. Now, I'm just doing a quick Google search of the definition of assessment fees. And so far we have, in real estate, assessment fees are additional one-time charges levied by a homeowners association, often for specific or unexpected projects or improvements to the common areas. So let's touch that for a second. She's trying to make assessment fees sound like a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Which it could be a bad thing if you don't know anything about it and she's just using it as a talking point. But one of the things that you guys should do as sales reps, as sales professionals, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to talk that language. Think of a hurricane that comes through, especially here in Florida, right? Sometimes we have hurricane season, hurricane comes through, they damage the building and things of that nature. Assessment fees is just a one-time fee that could repair the damage from a hurricane. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some type of insurance to insure the property, but that's just, let's just say, a negative thing that could happen with the assessment fee. A positive thing that could happen with the assessment fee is, hey, what if the resort says, hey, you know what? We want to add a movie theater. We want to add, 4 lazy rivers. We want to add miniature golf. We want to add zip lining here at the resort. You know what I'm saying? So those amenities obviously are going to be able to, the owners are going to have to pay an assessment fee to be able to pay for these, improvements to the property. So it's not a bad thing if you're paying a little bit more to be able to have all these amenities at the resort. Would you agree?
I agree. And there's many resorts that don't have assessment fees. I mean, resort I was at did not have an assessment fee. There was one resort that went through a terrible fire from nature, just from forest fires, and they rebuilt the resort, many buildings, and did not charge an assessment fee.
There you go.
So I mean, you throwing out these negatives to put fear in people and make them feel, but that's not the case. So for you guys that are getting those objections on the table, it's important to know what's going on. Know what these people are getting fed on their feed, because social media is very prevalent, is the word?
Yes.
And this is not back in the day. Me and many others, we missed the run of when there was no internet. You know what I'm saying? Half checks everywhere. That's what they say. Yeah. There was a lot of money being made because people had no other way to get information. But you have people now saying, I want to do more research on the table while you go get your TO or your manager in the back end. They're Googling information. Nowadays, they're probably using Chat GPT, right? So you got to be very conscious of what's going on and be ready to overcome those objections and overcome those concerns that they may have, because that stuff that you saw right there, obviously, you know that's not all factual. No one forced you to do a 90-minute presentation. The assessment fees are not on every resort. Maintenance is not going up average of 4%.
Yeah, it's just not true. And again, educate yourself and don't be afraid to tell the family, hey, listen, guys, I'm not sure where you got your information from, but based on the facts, boom, you share your information. You know what I'm saying? You share your knowledge. You share your advice of what you have with the family that can steer them in the direction of purchasing, right? Yeah. Don't get discouraged if they try to hit you with assessment fees and things of that nature. Just educate yourself on your product, really. Mm-hmm. Another thing that this lady mentions in her video is, and this is one that's just a pet peeve of mine. I hate when people say this. Timeshares are not a financial investment.
Oh, yeah.
I hate when people say that, because my thing is, whoever said spending quality time with the ones you love the most was a financial investment, right? Rich, when your last vacation, wherever that may have been, when you swiped your credit card to pay for that trip, were you thinking about the memories that you guys were about to create and the different activities and things that you guys can do and the fun that you guys were getting ready to have on this trip? Or were you sitting here thinking of a financial, how much money can I make back on this trip that I'm about to spend with my family? Were you sitting there crunching the numbers trying to like double your money or something like on this vacation trip?
I use my points.
There you go. For sure.
Well, on some real, no, I did not, and I think that that's a valid point. We have to let them know that it's an investment in their lifestyle. It's an investment in your vacation lifestyle. It's not not an investment in equity and getting a return on your investment monetarily, but it's about quality time. It's about spending time with your family, and you're investing in that. You're investing in future vacations with quality that you can leave a legacy for your family. And I think that that's where that gets construed. Now, I can tell you this. It's important for the representative to make that clear. Because if you work at a resort that has a puke sheet, if anyone doesn't know what a puke sheet, I'm just talking about overpriced starting point to make the family say, I can't do that much.
Yeah, we can't do that.
But I can do this much. It's designed to make them throw up and say, hey, putting $30,000 down is not enough. I can't do it. If it was $5,000 down, I could do it. And so they puke. So the thing is this, sometimes you have a puke and people believe that that's a perceived value of the product. And if there's a drop, then they say, okay, I can do that. But if I'm getting this drop and the real price is that because of the same day incentive or today's promotion, so you're telling me I'm getting what was once this price for this price, they may perceive that there's an equity in the difference. Because if everyone's paying this amount and I'm getting this amount, what I'm buying today is really worth this. That's where the misunderstanding can come. And now it's an investment. You know what I mean? So I think that every resort does a good job of cleaning that up and making that clear, like, this is the price you're buying it for. And when you're buying this for, some people have, some resorts have papers that say, I'm buying this for clear usage or enjoyment, blah, blah, blah. Even when it comes to getaways, because some of us will say, hey, with getaways, you can do whatever you want to do with them. Interval offers a guest certificate, and you can put it in someone else's name. And however you go about your business, you can go about your business. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're getting the week for $300 doesn't mean you have to give it to your friend for $300. You can do whatever you want to do with it.
For sure.
And now people start getting ideas.
Yeah.
To stay at that place is actually $2,000, but I'm getting it for $300. I could just give it to them for $1,000 and I'm making $700. And then it becomes an investment in their mind. So other than you thinking that there's equity and all that, I think that's where it gets a little blurred and misconstrued, but our QAs, our deeders, our managers do a good job of making sure that they understand that you're buying this for your enjoyment. And yes, you have the right to do whatever you want to do with it, but you're buying it for your enjoyment. You're investing in your family's future vacations. But you are an owner, so you can do whatever you want to do with it.
Now, if you have a sales rep just straight up telling you, hey, buy this for $10,000, hold it for a year, come back and flip it for $30 because it's really worth $30. Now, if you got a rep telling you that now, that's just straight up. That's fire. That's you know what I'm saying? That's pitching heat at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? I've never even went past that far before, but yeah, you know, if a rep is telling you that, then yeah, that's pitching heat. That's not true. You can't flip this for double your money or anything like that.
You have to be you got to be mindful, right? That there are some people that do sell like that, but they have no intentions of building relationships. They have no intentions of that person coming back. And unfortunately, those are the things that kind of mess up the industry, you know? But they learn very quickly, and those people don't last, you know what I mean? But we can't control what happens out there.
A lot of that, though, is, when you think about it, a lot of that is in front line. Because you can't tell no owner, hey, buy this for 10 and then flip it next year for 20. Because the owner already owns. They already kind of know what's up. You know, they know they can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, yeah, I would agree with that. And you know, shout out to all my people that work frontline, dayline. I just think that a lot of that originates from that side of the fence. But most of those people that say stuff like that, they don't last because the ethics is not there. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
for sure.
But I mean, whatever.
One of the last things that she said was the timeshare is forced to your children. So if you're an owner, you have kids, you pass away, the timeshare is forced to go to them. That's not true. That's not true. Now, if there's some timeshare companies out there that still operate on the old system like they used to do back in the 70s and 80s, okay, that might be true. But the timeshare that I know of nowadays that people are buying, it's not forced to go to your children. The timeshare companies out there, again, you guys got to do your research, educate yourself on your product. Your company should have some type of program set aside to be able to pay off the timeshare if the family goes through ill will, or if the family loses a job, or if the family dies, but you know, the spouse or the husband die. There should be some type of program set aside to be able to help the owner, so that way they can get out of the ownership and it's not forced down to the children.
I think that families should have trust, wills and trust.
Talk that talk.
Express, you know what I'm saying? Where this ownership goes, it is ownership. And what I do like about some companies, and I can really only speak for one that I worked for, but a lot of them have mortgage protection in it. So if someone dies, it is then paid off. So if a person dies and you have mortgage protection, which is a term insurance that we should all have, and if you need term insurance, please contact Abundance Boulevard, link in the bio.
Facts.
Get that and cover your mortgages, whether it's on your home or your timeshare. But you should have something that says, if something happens to me, these debts is paid off. And then have a plan that says it goes to this one, this one, this one, and so forth. So it's not that it's forced, but you can actually control that. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that she said that either.
Yeah. And if you're an owner out there, because we have some owners that, you know, they catch the podcast. It is what it is. It comes down to the algorithm too. If I'm on a sales floor and I'm a guest taking a tour, that's one of the questions that I would ask the sales rep. Hey, am I protected if something happens with my job?
Right.
Oh yeah, let me see it in writing.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some resorts have like an unemployment protection. You pay for it, obviously, but there's things in place to protect you in case of a hardship or in case of a death and And you know, some people put their ownership in a trust. I've seen that too. People, when they purchase it, it's in the trust. You know what I mean? So you're not forcing it to be on anyone. So of course they're gonna create the fair to make you hire them. And I'm sure that company is not free for this service.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was just about to say that. You know, you think she's about to help you out for free? Right. She's telling you all this stuff. Oh, you having hard times with your timeshare? Call us. You know what I'm saying? For free? Nah, come on. Right. And what happens when you get these calls? When you're a timeshare owner, you're getting these calls of people saying that they can sell your timeshare for you. They can help you get out of your timeshare. They can help you rent your timeshare. 99% of the time, what happens, Rich?
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
And I'm sorry for those of the owners that get called, because, you know, a lot of the ownership is deeded and is public record. And they'll get a call from someone saying, hey, I see you have getaways and we have this convention center and we can rent your getaways and for only X amount of dollars, and then you'll get this amount, and people fall for it. So I believe that if you're in a in-house capacity, or even in frontline, I believe that they allow you to give frontline, dayline. They allow you to give out your number. I would say protect your owners, man. Like people, they buy the product so they can use it, enjoy it. They believe in you. Be a person that they can call, because there's a lot of scammers out there that's getting these people for money because they're like vulnerable. They don't know enough, and they want to do something with the extra weeks they have. They want to do something with the time that they're not using, and then they get scammed. And that just puts a bad rep on us.
Have you ever met an owner that's gotten scammed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
I've met owners that got scammed. I don't want to say scam from the same company.
Yeah.
But there's like so much different things that, you know, if you already have a paying customer, they know that the customer is a qualified customer. There's some companies that right after the sale, like 2 months later, another department of the company is calling them to upgrade them on something else that has nothing to do with ownership.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And then you have like this public record where people will call them and say, like I said, we work under the umbrella of Interval. We work under the umbrella of whatever company that they bought from. And people don't hear the third party. They hear the main company that they said. And they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot I bought that. You know, how can you help me? And these people just get into their heads. So,
yeah.
Protect your people. Don't be afraid to, you know, give out your number if your company allows you to. Don't be afraid to be the point of contact and to keep in touch, because if you're in the in-house department, you know that they will come back and they'll purchase again. If you're in the frontline department, understand they're going to in-house. So keep a good rep, because we all work together. Just like the OPCs or the marketers, they hook us, they bring us to tours, and then we see the families, and the dealer seals the deal, right? We all work together, y'all. So if you're a frontline person and you sell it right. You know what I'm saying? Because when they go to in-house, you left room for them, right? And in-house, when you get the family, sell it right, because they're coming back again. They may not come to this resort, they may go to another resort, but another rep is going to get them. We all got to work together. Let's make sure these people have the right ownership to have the best experiences. So the reviews is good, the experience is good, and they speak good on your name.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I just want to shout out all the resorts that give awards, all the accolades. Next show, I want to go into some of the awards that ARDA have given out, the American Resort Development Association. There was Managers of the Year awards, Sales Rep of the Year awards at multiple resorts. There was Trainer of the Year awards. And some of the people that I know, they were runner-ups. They didn't win it, but I want to get them their flowers. Just this week, I got a couple of text messages from people that I've met personally and trained personally. So I want to spread love. So shout out to Kanan and his sister Beatrice. They just got this is a brother and sister who both work in the game, and they both earned their $1 million rings at the resort that they work out. That's what's up. Love to see it, because I love to see when, you know, people reach levels of success. You know what I mean? So that was dope for them. To see like brother and sister both own their rings is dope. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Shout out to them. Hopefully we have them on the show. Tell us about their journey. Shout out.
Yeah, and also if you out there, we were talking about it earlier, not all resorts give out rings. So if you at a resort that don't give out rings, maybe they give out Rolexes, maybe they give out BMWs, Mercedes, whatever that may be, leave it in the comments. Let us know, because here in Orlando, we're just used to getting, you know, rings.
Yeah. Yeah, some people get Rollies, man.
Yeah, I know Hilton gives out Rolexes for sure.
That's a nice come up. And then one more. And shout out to Risk, one of our previous guests, you know, I love, if you go back to one of the episodes, I'm not sure what episode it was, but Risk was on one of our episodes and he was just new. And this is the person whose journey started from, he's the young cat getting money. You can tell he getting money because he gained a little weight, if I'm not mistaken.
Getting chubby now.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Risk. He got his $1 million ring at his resort. And this is a young kid who started in the admin department and then decided to take a leap of faith and get into sales. And he earned his $1 million ring this week. So I just want to shout out those individuals because, you know, we love recognition. We love to see everybody get it. We love to see everybody winning. I mean, that's what it's about. Like, you know, some people had a rough start and then they find their groove, and it's just rewarding because we all went through the same thing. We all went through the same thing when we first started. So we love to see it. We love to see it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everyone who's reaching success. Shout out to everyone who made it through this weird summer that we had because everyone's talking about this weird summer that we had because people have uncertainty. People are worried about what to do with it. If it's not politics, they worry about jobs, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people are vacationing and need a place to stay.
For sure.
Money's going somewhere. And if you have convinced someone to take that same money they're going to spend anyway and put it towards ownership instead of renting, you did an amazing job. Keep doing what you're doing. And one more thing I want to talk about is cancellations. Who called me the other day? Somebody called me the other day and we talked about cancellations, and they brought them into the room and they said, man, you know, your numbers is good, but you ain't got no cancellations, and that just means you're not pushing hard enough.
Facts.
And I agree. I was told that before, so it's a thing in my head. It's like, if you're not pushing people who made an pact or an agreement not to buy nothing, because every day, in my analogy, y'all, is if there's 100 tours, 20 of them are going to buy. We have to go through the numbers. But there's another 10% or another 10 that are going to buy because of your skill, because of your tenacity, because of your, you know, willingness to go back and ask again or to come up with a different product or to do another drop. And I believe that is what gives us a 30% close when we have 100% tours. Meaning, some people are not giving up just so easy. And sometimes it's okay to leave something out of the presentation so you can use it as at the back end to get to ask them to buy again. And that will turn into a sale. Now, you get them to buy today on this sale is good. It's great. If they go back home for whatever influences, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's the reality kicked in because when they got home, the mailbox is full of bills and they're like, damn, what the hell did I do? That's normal. That's okay. But the fact that you got them to change their perspective from saying, hell no, I'm not buying to I'm buying, that means you did your job. So it's okay to have cancellations. You know what I'm saying? Because you worked that table and you got that person to say yes after telling you no 7, maybe 10 times. So moral of the story is if you don't have enough cancellations, step it up, ask again, go a little harder because some of them will stick, which is just a pay raise for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's that.
That's that. What happens when you have too many cancellations though?
You're in trouble. You're doing something wrong. You need to ride along.
Yeah, for sure.
If you got too many, I don't know, man. You know, something ain't right. You got to do a follow-up. A lot of these companies don't have follow-up systems in place. Cancellations were high this year. Cancellations were high across the entire industry at one point. I think it was early in the year, maybe, I want to say like March, April. There were cancellations everywhere, high across the industry. I could say more frontline, dayline than it was in-house. It was disgusting to the point where you would assume like someone is getting a hold of new owners and soliciting them with those videos that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, but it slowed down. But one thing I think that these resorts and these companies need to implement, which residential real estate implements them, is CRMs, you know? A CRM, some people call it customer relationship management. I believe that in the first, whatever your rescission period is, because Vegas is different than Florida and so forth, whatever your rescission period, you should have touch points where your owner is getting a message from you or some type of communication about their ownership to make them feel good about their purchase in that rescission period. Because buyer's remorse is a serious thing.
It is.
You know, this is the only industry where we tell them it's 90-minute presentation. They come on a presentation, and no one comes with the intention to buy. I'm not buying nothing that made it pass. But you guys are so good that you make them want it because you put them in the picture. You've identified how they would use it, how emotionally it fits for them, and you all do a great job, right? But you get them to purchase on that emotion. The logic kicks in when they get back home or what they call that family member and be like, yeah, man, I just bought more vacation time. And that's where the external influences tell them, well, what the hell are you doing? Or why was that? Hell no, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to figure out ways, because you are your own business, right? To touch point those people. I mean, we have the technology, y'all. We have ChatGPT. We have emails that you can pre-schedule. Like we have the tools to save our own deals. And I'm gonna tell you like this: these TOs, they're not gonna save your deal.
Nope.
When these people want to cancel, these TOs is not calling to save or to do drops.
They scared to talk to the family.
Listen, I've seen I respect my managers, the TOs. Shout out to everyone, but I've seen it firsthand where it's like some of them just don't even want to address the situation and try to save the deal. I respect the resorts that have departments in place to deal with the new owners and to maybe offer a drop or a solution or to even talk to them about, well, what's the main concern? But some resorts let you fend for yourself. If you got a cancellation, handle that. And a lot of people are not equipped. So I believe every company should have a CRM or something in place to have touch points for the new customers so that the buyer's remorse, because it's going to happen. They can nurture that person so it sticks. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have that at your resort, make one yourself. The world is, we have too much technology and access to do that. Make that your homework. What's going to be my follow-up plan? What's going to be make sure my deals stick? And what am I going to do to push my sales above where they are now because I don't have enough cancellations?
Facts. I like it.
So yeah, we appreciate y'all listening, appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share with somebody. This is organic growth. We are on a mission, y'all. We are on a mission. We have tapped into so many different states, so many different resorts, so many different people that are excited about what's going on. And we have some new guests coming. We got ski mask coming.
I can't wait.
Oh man. You know, when I tell you the ski mask, I think it's called a baklava. I can't even pronounce it. Some people call it a poo shiesty. I don't know what poo shiesty is.
Every time you say baklava, I'm thinking of the dessert. That's what I thought you was talking about. That's
so when we have guests coming in that's gonna like not filter what they gotta say, you know, we have different ways we want everybody to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? As much as we want to be politically correct, I want everyone to be free and to speak their truth. So one of our guests coming up, they're low key. You know what I'm saying? They want to speak their truth.
They don't want to be seen.
They don't want to be seen.
But they want to drop the jewels. They want to touch the people at the same time.
Give it to the people.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Let y'all know the real deal. I want to call that show Timeshare, the dark side. So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all watching. Continue to share with the people in the industry, your colleagues. Sold in 60, the one and only timeshare podcast in the world. And, you know, we love what we do. We love you. We love the support. We are litty. So because we so litty, I'm going to leave on a we made it. Shout out to everyone who's made it. Shout out to everyone that has hit their numbers. It is that time of the year where it's the fourth quarter, man. You know what I'm saying? So
it's crunch time.
It's crunch time, y'all. Go hard. You can't go home. You got to go hard and close out strong. So shout out to Vic Money the Truth. He blessed us with this song. You know, we made it, and we're just going to keep rocking that joint because we like the energy. So
yeah, shout out to all our day one sold in 60, viewers, man. We really appreciate that. Y'all been with us since episode 1. We really appreciate that.
Episode 1. We started this in 2020. What was it? 2023.
3 years, I think it said.
2023.
Yeah,
2023, man. So
I've been from studio to studio. You guys have seen, so it's only getting bigger and better.
Yeah. The cool thing is this. If you want to be on the show, there's a link in the bio. Hit us up. We would love to have you. We could do it remote. You don't got to actually come to the studio. Whatever state, whatever city you're in, we'll make it happen. You know what I'm saying? We would love to have your insight. And
or anything that y'all want to hear on the show, topics that we're not covering, pitches that y'all want to, that y'all want to hear that we're not covering, let us know.
Send us your ring, send us your awards. Let's get to it. We want to give you your flowers, give you your accolades. I got so many people that have the right to say they made it. So we appreciate y'all. You now watching Solar 60, the one and only timeshare podcast in the world.
I like to flex, got a
Peace.
brand new Mercedes.
Hey.
I Louis the chest, this ain't no guess, I'm dripping this wavy. You want the hook, you want the feature, you gotta
Pay me.